Thank you so much for that, Snehi. A very interesting set of data. Now, we've seen that in the previous week, the Nifty managed to cross the all-time highs, and that too after a gap of almost 14 months. Why is this important in the historical context? We present it to you in terms of data points and what significance this will have for the markets, for the Nifty, in 2026 going forward. So this is the charts for the Nifty 50 over the last 25-30 years, where we've seen that every time the data points are that the Nifty's managed to cross back above the previous life highs. There have been 6 instances, and that too with a gap of at least 3 to 4 quarters. Why is this important? Because based on the last 6 observations over the last 25 years and more, there is some interesting statistics which we've culled out. So we go back to the year 1997, where it all started off, where the Nifty first made a top, almost at 1297. It took 2 years for the Nifty to try and come back after a corrective wave, to try and come back to break out the 1297 mark. But then what happened subsequently was that in the next 4 quarters, the Nifty climbed up 40%. Same thing happened, in terms of less percentage points, but same thing in March 2000 when the Nifty made a top which was around 1,818. December 2003 is where the Nifty managed to give a breakout after 3 long years. But then what happened post that is in the next 4 quarters, the Nifty climbed up almost 15%. Same stat we look at, this over the, many instances which happened post that also. And we come out to an average that there's been almost like a 30% kind of a jump which happens in the next 4 quarters. Now, the manner in which the next, 4 quarters shape up are completely different. We look at few charts over here. So in the year 1997 to 1999, when that first breakout happened, after a wait of more than 3-4 quarters, the initial journey was that the Nifty moved up higher and there was a corrective wave which followed post that. In the year 2000-2003, the move was again slightly different. You saw the Nifty initially going up higher and then going to a corrective wave which followed post that. So as you can see that the Nifty moved up higher, we made a new high. Subsequent the next 2 quarters, the markets dropped down. But to end the next 4th quarter, the Nifty was up almost 30% plus from the highs which were made at that point of time. Same thing happened in 2008 to 2013, and then a similar thing which happened very recently, which was 2021 to 2023. So the average statistic which we looked at indicates that the Nifty climbs up almost 30%. Now there are 3 case scenarios which we built up for 2026 on the base of these statistics. One is the 15% upside, which has been the lowest reading for the Nifty recorded in the last 6 attempts over the last 25 years. That scales up the index towards a target of 30,186. You look at a base case target, which is 30% upside, which is the average of the last 6 readings. That takes the index high to 34,000. But then 50%, which is the max upside, which you've seen in the readings, takes the index higher to almost 39,000. So in all 3 scenarios and the last historical context over the last 25 years, we've seen one thing, that the next following year is a positive year for the index with an average gain of almost 30%.